My friend kept stealing from my husband, so I cut her off.
I hope she wasn't stealing no kisses.
Uh-oh. Myself, 31 female, and my husband, Josh, 34 male, relocated across the country just about a year ago with our 2 littles. We bought a beautiful home in a nice little tight-knit neighborhood right next door to Sarah, 36 female, and her husband, Jacob, 36 male, with their 2 kids. Serendipitously, each of our older kids are the same age, and each of our younger ones are just under a year apart. Nice. By the way, this comes from Opposite Afternoon 72 on the TwoHotTakes subreddit. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. Since we've gotten close, we have shared family-style dinners, game nights, movie nights. We've taken them to the casino. They showed us some local parks and fairs. And everyone in both families has a best friend. That's perfect. In my original post, I had shared this friend was considered a fast friend to me. I was under the impression that a fast friend is a common phrase. Like 2 kids who meet at the playground and can just play and understand each other like they've always known each other. This is how I considered this friend. My short time best friend, fast friend. So Josh works hard to support our family and enjoys the casino. He has brought Jacob to the casino probably every month for the last 5 to 6 months. Just a few weeks ago now, we were all going to go, or that was Josh's hope. He got a huge suite from a host with food comps and extra gift cards for BS around the resort. And the whole thing would not have cost a dime. So he invited our neighbors before really checking in with me. Ultimately, I did not want to go for fear of risking injury to my oldest, who has recently suffered from a concussion. At home, we've had no screen time, no climbing, no jumping, no strenuous activity, no wrestling, and my job has been telling these poor kids no, no, no until it doesn't mean anything. We haven't really spent time with the neighbors because it's exhausting to keep an eye on all of them for the sake of my oldest. In a casino with iPad parents, there would be no avoiding this, and I would just be stuck in a room trying not to scream from insanity. Same for my kids. Yeah, having a concussion in a casino with all those lights and screens in front of you and noises.
You might just like spontaneously learn how to count cards, though. Imagine that.
That's like your superpower that you get from your
you just like the
yeah. Just like how your wrist got stronger after you broke it.
You definitely want to hit that.
Yeah. So when I told this to Josh, he revised his invite. He was still going. He was not going to pass up the big beautiful suite. Jacob was welcome to join him, but if the whole family was coming, Josh would rather that Jacob get them their own room. Cue the start of my irritation with the neighbors. They called him, texted him, and begged him for days before. Talk to your wife. Make her change her mind. You've got to get her to go. Jacob was so worried that Sarah wouldn't let him go if she couldn't go. And she was only going if she got to use the big, beautiful suite. Jacob got a promotion to stay in a standard suite, which would have been very comfortable and still not cost them a thing, since Josh was willing to still use his other comps with all of them. But this was not enough. Josh filled me in every step of the way, continued to tell them that I didn't feel comfortable because of the kids, and left it at that. The morning both husbands left, Josh got a text from Sarah saying that she didn't realize she'd have to spend that time stuck in the room alone with the kids, so she was staying behind and to have fun. And if you know Sarah, you read that have fun with a sneer. Have fun. So Josh called me and was floored at her entitlement. When I've gone with my kids to a casino, we get to use the pool. Sometimes there's a golf course, this specific casino has an arcade, and then I plan ahead to spend the time relaxing in a hotel room with my kids. So much of the draw of any casino is for adults, and that's just that. So I will bring at-home spa care, nail polish, coloring books, games, and usually we'll have a movie marathon with room service and robes. Even in a standard room, no suite needed. Later in the day, my kids and I decide to go for a walk. Her kids are outside dancing on their driveway. Aw, so my kids rush on over. That's so cute. They're just dancing. I love that. I love it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect. So there we all are now. Elephant in the room. She's mad at me, and I'm getting the cold shoulder. Now I'm floored. If the shoe was on the other foot, if anything ever came in the way of pre-made plans or even spur-of-the-moment plans, I never made her feel bad for it. And this is my kid, lady. Ick. So anyways, later that night, after the kids are asleep, I get a text from Josh that just says, Jacob just tried to steal money from me. I caught him with $200 from my wallet. This is so disappointing. All I saw was red.
My God, Red Angie's scary.
Ah!
Red Angie, where's your skin, Red Angie?
It's all ripped away.
From my anger.
Oh my God, it looks so gray now after that. Okay, anyway. I had stood up for this but had in the past. Josh had suspected when Jacob drove home at a weird hour, hammered, and he was so certain there was $500 missing from his wallet. This wasn't the sort of person Jacob was. On a different occasion, with a different scenario, $500 again. Still, no way he's got to be mistaken, right? Sadly, Josh dropped it for the sake of the kids and our friendships. Now, I was certain of these previous thefts too, and I couldn't stand the thought of keeping these entitled people in our lives. Come to find out, Josh was willing to give it another go. He was wasted enough that he calmly told Jacob that this isn't right. He expects more from him, and that they would get past this. But it would take time for Josh to fully trust him again. And then he told him not to go. Throughout the night, Josh began to regret this choice more and more. Jacob almost immediately asked for money, to which Josh said, "Are you effing serious?" He catches him stealing $200, and then he's like, "Dude, like, that's not how you do it. You can't be doing, like, you don't steal from me." And he's like, okay. Can I borrow $200 though? So it's just continued downhill from here. When we spoke the next day, we probably riled each other up, sure, but without the rose-colored friend glasses, I couldn't stand them. I could see the one-sided contributions, I could see the one-way conversations, and I could see the exhausting drama that had nothing to do with us. So instead of handling it, I drove away. I packed up the kids, some camping gear, and I drove cross-country to visit family. Josh works long hours, and unless planned, he never really sees anyone but us, so he just did his usual thing in a quiet house. I overthought the conversation that needed to be had. I had nightmares of her reaction to the news, and I decided I needed to send a text before I even started my way home. So I did. I took my emotions out of it. I gave her the facts of what happened between Josh and Jacob, and I let her know that we just couldn't be friends anymore. She took about 2.5 hours to reply in a group chat with me and Josh. She gave us a bunch of manipulation, in my opinion. She repeated that she's destroyed, that she's blindsided, and that she is sobbing and throwing up with how hurt she is by all of this. I don't care. Clean it up. I don't care.
Clean it up, dog.
She thanked Josh for taking the high road, and when I spoke to Josh, we decided I would respond. Since I didn't have service that night, I sent a text about 2 days later and continued to keep the emotion out of it. Let her know that what she had to say felt like it should have been said to her husband, as she didn't understand how this wasn't the first time. I let her know that her husband walked all over Josh and used him, and that due to a lack of communication from Jacob since then, it proves to us that he didn't care to just let us walk away and keep her in the blind. So now she spirals. Now I can just hear her screaming from states away. The only point I know she's probably right to make is that this does not belong in the text, but could you blame me? Her other points being, she is trying to apologize. Jacob is mortified. Jacob couldn't even steal from a store, so they're destroyed that he could ever think to do this. He doesn't remember doing anything more than this. Shortly followed by, "This is between Josh and Jacob, and not to text her any further." When I've sent 2 texts, and the OG one and the follow-up one. She has sent several. So Josh says, "You got it." And she spirals again. Now, it's my fault. I should have never gotten involved. Josh and Jacob should have handled this between themselves. I shouldn't be speaking for Josh, and I am making her the villain. I made this so bad by doing this all through text, and then Josh stands up for me. He lets her know that I did what was right to let her know why we would no longer be friends, and that things would be between Jacob and himself going forward, since that's what she asked for. And we have spiral number 3. First, she takes that as a slight at her, saying that she's not in charge here. And then she brings up a situation involving the kids where she proceeds to blame mine for a situation and then insists that she has never made me feel bad about said situation. And I would personally never make you feel bad about finding more episodes of full stories just like this one. Just go to iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever your favorite podcast app is, and search OK Storytime. I would never make you feel bad about that. There is a little bit more into this story. But what a headache, dude.
Yeah, dude. Your friend is a drunk thief, and you should, you know, understand that. Moving forward, don't trust him.
And this is like the worst person to get into a text argument over, too. Is like you say your things. You say all that you really needed to say. You hit all the marks of what you want to talk about. You say it in a calm way. And then they just hit you back with an even longer paragraph every single time. It's like, no. We're done. We ended this.
You say, I'm sorry. My bad. I'm in a bad place. Not, well, actually, blah, 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 blah,
bringing
blah,
up
blah,
stuff
blah.
from the past, dude. That's stupid. That's stupid behavior. Don't
Yeah.
do that. There's a little bit more to the story. So she victim blamed my child.
Oh, brother.
I saw her fall off the face of the earth at that point. Do not talk to me. Do not talk to my kids. And do not come on my property. You do not fix this, you ignorant F. The next morning, I get the last of the texts, starting with, I respect your decision, but, and that bunch of the same BS after that. So in the end, am I the a-hole? Could this have gone any other way? Did I overreact? I originally posted for advice as of how best to break up with this friend, but now I'm indifferent to her snooty, pinched witch face. And that's the end of that story.
Damn.
What would you do? How would you have
Yeah,
gone about
I think
it?
I'd be moving on in peace. I'd just quietly stop engaging and giving a hoot and a half.
Yeah.
I would just slowly pull back and watch my life just become peaceful. Because it's like when someone's sending you like 7 paragraphs in response to stuff, it's like there's no point in trying to be like, hey, so blah, blah, blah. Like for X, Y, and Z, I'm out. You just do it. Because they're not going to accept it. They're just going to go, well, you shouldn't be because of blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
exactly.
blah, blah,
Like,
blah, blah, blah.
those points are invalid. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, I don't care, actually. If you don't like those points, I still just don't want to be around you anymore.
Yeah.
I refuse to tell my friends why I cut them off because they should have known.
You know what you did.
I, 28 female, was best friends with Kayla, 29 female, since 8th grade, and Cora, 29 female, since freshman year, 9th grade, before I cut them off a couple of years ago. All 3 of us were super fast friends, and with having 50% of classes together in high school, we were basically inseparable. But the more I reflect on the friendship, the more I understand why my parents didn't like either of them. Sorry, Mom and Dad. By the way, this comes from Free Jello on the r/charlottedobreyoutube subreddit. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. The 3 of us were in marching band together, and for band camp, we had to pick roommates for the week. Never goes well. Never goes well. Kayla and Cora always paired themselves up, and so I had to find a different roommate. And the same would go if we had away competitions and had to stay overnight somewhere. One time, we had to be in a group of 4 for a hotel at an out-of-state competition, and they chose 2 other people to room with them. OP.
These are not your friends.
Not your friends.
No.
Leaving me to scramble and find a group that needed a 4th person yet, or stay in the same room as my parents, which was not going to happen as a teenager trying to be cool. Sounds lame, but as a high schooler, it always made me pretty sad that my supposed BFFs never wanted to stay in the same room with me. After we graduated, Kayla went to college that was about an hour and a half away from our hometown, fully paid for by her parents. Cora went into the military and was gone for about 2 years. Whoa. And I had attempted college but dropped out after 1 semester. Our freshman year of college, Kayla got involved with a rowdy crowd of people that liked to drink and smoke. She drank heavily, and there was more than one occasion where she would call me to pick her up because she was too wasted or too high to drive. Mind you, I'm still an hour and a half away. That's what I was going to be like, wait, you're driving an hour and a half to go pick her up?
Why would you go to this thing and not like plan that ahead of time?
At the time, I was still attempting college, and I had a crap car that barely made it from A to B. R.I.P. to Ronnie the Rendezvous. You sucked. You were a great car.
Oh.
But Kayla knew that I didn't care how far away she was. I would go pick her up and bring her back to her dorm, no matter what, no questions asked, because I would rather be the one driving than her driving while under the influence.
Yeah.
After doing this probably 5 to 6 times, my dad made a comment saying she was taking advantage of me and my willingness to always be a DD. I told him my reasoning, And he asked why she wasn't asking friends at her college. Yeah. I just shrugged and ended the conversation. The only time I ever got mad at Kayla for this behavior was when one of these trips to pick her up, the car in front of me hit a deer.
Whoa.
Which caused debris to pop my tire, and I had no idea how to put on the spare. Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
I called her asking if anyone who was sober could help me change a tire, and she hung up on me.
What?
Yeah, not your friend. Not your friend. Thankfully, the cop that stopped was super helpful, and yes, I still went to pick her butt up. This behavior continued throughout freshman and sophomore year of college, but her drinking and smoking was so bad, she failed out of college and had to move home. This was about the same time that Cora moved home, and that summer we had all turned 21, so we started going to the bars as a group most weekends. As the last one to turn 21, I hoped I would get the traditional American 21st birthday. Instead, I was their DD because Kayla had 4 to 5 shots within the first hour, and Cora
Yikes.
was chugging Long Island iced teas like they were actual teas.
Yikes.
And girl, that's when you said, okay, we're going to leave the car here, or we don't even bring the car at all.
Yeah.
If you guys think you're, like, just assume they're going to drink, take an Uber. So on my 22nd birthday, I asked if either one of them could DD or if one of their boyfriends could pick us up so I could actually drink and have a fun time. And this time, I wasn't going to be the one to watch their drinking. I was going to enjoy myself. And I did for about 2 hours. I told them I had to run to the bathroom and would be right back. I was gone for 20 to 25 minutes due to the long line. And guess who left during that time?
That's insanely dangerous. You do
Kayla
not
and-
do that with your girlfriend.
No,
My
never.
goodness.
Especially because OP was drinking.
Yeah.
Never.
Nope.
Kayla and Cora had called Cora's boyfriend to pick them up, leaving me alone at the bar, wasted. I started crying to my favorite bartender and bless Party Marty because that dude gave me a Gatorade, lots of water, and drove me home once the shift ended. Shout out Party Marty.
Shout out Party
Shout 'em out.
Marty.
I'm sorry, these are
Nope.
they're not your friends.
Mm-mm.
And they haven't been your friends ever.
They're just people you know.
When I asked WTF happened and why they left me, both Kayla and Cora said they had assumed I left because I was gone for so long. OP says I call BS because Cora and her boyfriend lived 15 minutes away from the bar, so they had to have called him as I was headed to the bathroom to have left by the time I was done taking a pee. Jump to about a year later, Cora and her boyfriend are expecting their first kid. She randomly called me, bawling her eyes out, saying she wasn't sure what to do as they had very little income, and wanted their daughter to start off right.
Uh-oh, guess who
OP.
they want to be the new mom?
OP, stop. It's not your problem. So I did what any friend would do, something that they probably would never do for you.
Exactly.
I rallied with Cora's mom to make the best baby shower in all of the Midwest. I spent what little extra money I had to buy all the sizes of diapers a baby could possibly wear. I made the cupcakes and cake pops from scratch, learned how to make a balloon arch, and Pinterested the crap out of baby shower games. Cora cried and said over and over again how much she loved the shower, but she never actually thanked me, only her mother. Her mom did give me credit for my efforts, but Cora kind of just brushed it off and went to welcome guests and open all her gifts. I couldn't bring myself at the time to care that she didn't thank me personally, because all I truly cared about was her and her baby and making sure they were going to be okay.
Aww.
Please, OP.
You're so
Please.
nice.
You're too nice. This is not like at a certain point you can be too nice. And it's detrimental to you. Kayla didn't help with the party planning, but she was in attendance. She said she forgot a gift, so I told her to put her name on one of the boxes of diapers I brought, which she did, along with adding her name to the present I brought. She never paid me, nor did she give Cora an actual gift for her daughter. Once Cora's daughter was born, things started getting uncomfortable for me. We'd still go out drinking every once in a while, but we would always end up back at Cora's apartment, where everyone would smoke grass, sometimes even with the baby home. Girl.
Yikes, dude.
OP, like you're bothering me now.
I'm bothered.
I'm bothered.
Yeah.
This is people pleasing to like a very unhealthy level. On one of these nights, they showed off their new husky, which basically became mine for the night because they didn't understand that puppies need to go out a lot before they're house trained. I even took her for a walk at 8 a.m. the next day because she was whining in her crate. I accidentally locked myself out, so I had to repeatedly buzz their apartment. When Cora finally let me in, she yelled at me for waking them up, even after I explained why, and that I took her dog for a walk. I left shortly after that. My final straw.
Oh, finally.
right.
Oh, my God.
That was too many straws.
We're here. How many straws do you have?
That's like 6,000 straws.
Don't you know? Save the turtles.
Save the turtles, OP. That's too many straws.
Oh,
Came when I got a text from Cora asking for $400
Oh boy.
because they couldn't pay their electricity or gas bills. Again, being concerned for my friend and her daughter, I did what I thought was right and sent her the money.
that's not what's right, OP. You didn't. I'm
gonna
sorry. You
bang
did
my
not
head
do
against
what's
the
right.
wall.
You absolutely did
You
not
did
do what's
you did
right.
what's wrong. But that weekend, she asked if I wanted to join her and Kayla at the water park. I said yes because I had the day off and ended up having to pay for gas on the way back because neither one of them could afford it. Then they can't afford to go to the water park.
I've given up on OP.
I
I
truly
gave up a while ago.
2-ish months later, Cora asked for another $200 because her card declined and she couldn't afford groceries. She had texted me while I was on the phone with my boyfriend, now husband, and he said that he thought she was taking advantage of me. He thought?
Whoa.
He thought?
What a crazy idea.
Wow.
You said it was your final straw 3 straws ago, dude.
So many straws ago.
When is it going to end?
When is it your actual final straw? I was blinded by friendship and still sent her the $200. And you know what I saw on Kayla's Snapchat that night? Cora and Kayla going to the local liquor store and Cora paying for the excessive haul of booze. On a different snap, it was the two of them with the caption, "More money, more drinks."
Ha. Yeah.
I was livid.
Yeah.
I told my boyfriend, and he suggested not interacting with them for a couple of weeks. Maybe forever.
Maybe forever.
Have we considered that? But like clockwork, a month later, Cora couldn't afford diapers. I was getting pretty fed up and didn't know what to do, so I called my boyfriend, and he suggested if I wanted to help the toddler but not send Cora money, to order the diapers and have them shipped to her doorstep.
There
So
we
I
go.
did. Yeah,
I like
at
this.
least he's smart. At least you're dating someone smart.
I still hate it.
As soon as I sent Cora the order confirmation, she called me all upset, asking why I wouldn't just send her the money like before. And in the background, I could hear Kayla say something along the lines of, "Oh, so we're not going out tonight?" Yeah, doy. Saw that from a mile away.
Deep breaths, everyone. Deep breaths.
So I mustered up a kernel of courage and told Cora I wasn't a bank and couldn't keep sending her money. That was the last time I spoke to either of them.
Finally! Oh
We're
my
free.
God!
We're free!
Finally!
Hallelujah!
Ah.
I've been released from the shackles of OP's chronic people
Literally.
pleasing.
That's a great way to put it. She was
Yes.
holding us hostage.
You were holding us hostage.
That was terrible.
I realized they only ever asked for rides, gifts, or money. So I stopped responding to them. I had hoped they would reach out and apologize for their behavior. I'm still waiting.
You silly goose, OP.
The last time either one of them sent me a text was when I got engaged. Kayla asked, "Why don't we hang out anymore?" And what did she do that was so bad that I stopped talking to her and Cora? After the text, I decided I was 100% done with both of them.
Thank God.
If Kayla couldn't tell that she used me over and over again, took you 9 years to figure that out, and Cora couldn't figure out that I didn't want to fund her bad choices, then they weren't worth my time. That was about 3 years ago, and with our high school reunion coming up, I'm wondering if I'm the a-hole for not explaining even when asked,
No.
and wondering if I should explain to them why I cut them off so abruptly if I see them again. By the way, never cut us off, because you can listen to full episodes with stories hopefully not like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story.
OP.
I don't even think you should go to your high school reunion.
You sweet little angel, OP.
I don't even think you should go. Edit. For more context, since there are few people that are baffled I put up with it for so long. Trust me, I'm also mad at myself for that.
Good.
When I said we were inseparable, I meant it. For an entire summer, I lived with Kayla and her family. I was at their house so often her parents joked about adopting me and turning the guest room into my own room. I went on countless trips and vacations with both Kayla and Cora's family without paying for them. They were like my sisters. If I had a bad day, they would be over with ice cream and rom-coms in a heartbeat. Maybe in high school,
Yeah.
but that hasn't been true in a long time, it seems. For this post, I did cherry pick the moments that hurt the most when I decided to cut them off. But with 7 to 8 years of friendship, there were a lot of moments where they were there for me, which is why I was too dumb to see how awful they actually were.
Were they there for you as a transactional? Because friendship should be unconditional. It shouldn't have
Yeah.
a price
Yeah.
on it.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm just shocked that your parents didn't try and prevent this friendship more, because we know that they didn't like
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I backed out last minute because I refused to sleep on a mattress.
What's wrong with an air mattress?
I, 27 female, and 3 friends made a last-minute plan to go to the mountains this weekend. Our group is a couple. Let's call them Jay, 27 female, and Sam, 32 female, and 2 single friends, me and Alex, 26 male. By the way, this comes from Agent Olympus, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit, and I am Angie.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Riley.
And OP says, we actually found a good Airbnb at first. It had 2 bedrooms, one with a king bed, and one with 2 single beds. Alex and I were totally fine sharing the second room as long as we had our own bed. But Jay kept saying that she wanted a pool. This is a short 2-day trip, and we're just staying one night. I really didn't see why a pool was a big deal. We kept going back and forth trying to decide, and the place got booked by someone else. Great. After that, the only places we could find had just 1 bedroom, a pull-out couch, and an air mattress. Alex is recovering from an injury, so of course he shouldn't be on the air mattress. The couple immediately said that they wanted the bedroom, but they're not offering to pay more for it. That leaves me with the air mattress. Jay and Sam both don't have a driver's license, and Alex can't drive right now because of his injury. So I'm the only one who can drive us there and back. And I get the air mattress for that? Come on, guys. So on top of that, I'm also the one who has to work on Monday. I really don't want to be the one driving for hours, sleeping on an air mattress, and then dragging myself to work the next day all tired and sore. I genuinely hate sleeping on an air mattress. I always sleep like crap, and it hurts my neck. So I told them that I was backing out. I told them that if they really wanted to do a trip like this, they need to plan it better so that everyone is comfortable. Alex and Sam seemed to understand, but Jay got annoyed. She said I was being a party pooper and that I was being selfish and that I was ruining the weekend.
Says the one who literally lost the nice place for the pool place.
Literally.
That sucks.
Literally. She told me that I should just adjust so that we could all have fun. For a moment, I really did think that I was overreacting because it's just one night and going to the mountains would be super fun. But honestly, it just doesn't feel fair that I have the worst sleeping arrangement and still get labeled as the problem. So am I the a-hole for backing out last minute because I didn't want to sleep on an air mattress? And there are some comments.
It feels like it's not really about the air mattress. Jay's trying to control all the stuff, and then you're getting left with all the crap stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't have to be there at all. You could just not want to go because you just don't want to. So yeah, definitely not the a-hole. Do what you want. But there are some comments. Snackin' Penguin says that that's legit crappy. Everyone pays the same price, but you get the worst bed option and are the designated driver? Nah, they're just mad because they can't do any of this without you, but not appreciating the extra effort that on your part, not the a-hole. Status Painter 4061 says, have them sleep on the air mattress. You get the bed. Seems only fair since you were driving and have to work on Monday. Dangerous Winter Elf says, even without work on Monday, I wouldn't want to sleep on an air mattress after driving up there, activities and whatnot. And after sleeping like crap, do hours of driving back. Yeah, that's a good point too.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a big no, thank you. Another commenter says, not the a-hole. Jay thought it was more important for her to have a pool than for you to have a bed. That shows what kind of person they are. And on top of that, to call you the selfish one. But we do have an update from 5 days later.
Oh boy.
So thanks to everyone who replied to my original post. Your responses really helped me feel like I wasn't crazy if you're feeling frustrated. Unfortunately, I had to go on the trip because I couldn't cancel the Airbnb.
Dang, that was what I was wondering about. Darn.
Now that the trip is finally over, I wanted to post a quick update. I hope they paid you so much money for gas, too.
I hope they paid gas money too.
Yeah. For a bit more context, I moved to a new city last year, and I've been friends with these people for a little over a year. So I haven't known these people for a very long time. But we've gone out drinking, grabbed food, and gone to the movies a few times. They've always seemed pretty chill, which is why I thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to do a short trip with them. Turns out I was very wrong.
Yep.
Now on to the actual update. I had already booked everything before the whole sleeping arrangement argument. My bad, I know. I just had to do it quickly because it was the 4th of July weekend.
Dang, yeah, those book up quick.
Yeah. The Airbnb, the gondola tickets, shuttle tickets, and even prepaid parking. After realizing the Airbnb couldn't be canceled, I figured I'd just go anyway. I even messaged the host to ask if she could help us with another mattress or something. She said the pull-out couch would be big enough for 2 people and just looked small in the photos. At that point, Sam and Jay still wouldn't budge, so I told myself I'd just suck it up and deal with it for one night. We were supposed to leave early Saturday morning, and they were supposed to show up at my place by 5:30 a.m. so we could leave by 6. And all of them only reached around 7:15 to 7:30, so we ended up starting the drive late.
Oh, this is pissing me off.
We only got to the town around 1 p.m. Then they took 2 hours to eat lunch, and because of that, we missed our shuttle to the gondola. When I suggested that we just do a short hike instead, they said that they were too tired and just wanted to get drinks at the local bar. Since I refused to drive them to the bar, they got it delivered, and they stayed up drinking on the couch, aka my bed for the night, and didn't let me sleep until 2 a.m. Dude!
I literally would like stop being friends with these people.
They got absolutely wasted and told me that they weren't going to the lake the next morning, and then passed out on the couch/floor. I did get the bed, but at what cost? LOL. I woke up at around 7 a.m. to cancel our shuttle tickets and started cleaning up the Airbnb before our 11 a.m. checkout. They didn't wake up till 10:30, and I had to beg them to get dressed so that we could check out on time.
Poor OP's the one who's paying for all of this. It's
Yeah,
on her, yeah, it's
exactly.
on her thing.
I was so done at this point, so I drove them all back to Alex's place and went home. So we did absolutely nothing on the trip except take a 16-minute gondola ride up and down a mountain. No one has paid me back for anything. Of course.
I am
Of course.
so angry for
Yeah.
OP. I'm
Oh,
so angry.
My goodness. Not for the Airbnb, not for the gas, not even for the tickets. You were all right. I was just the driver and just someone who helped make their trip cheaper. I don't think I'm going to be hanging out with these people anymore. I'll wait to get my money back if I ever do, and then I'm done.
Literally, do not stop bothering them about it.
Absolutely.
Say like, hey, this is how much it is. This is how much
Yeah.
it is.
You're-
Please send me the money.
Right.
Send me the money.
You're not going to be friends with them afterwards anyway.
Who cares if they don't like you?
So piss them off. Yeah. Show up at their house. You know where
Yeah.
they live. And just be like, hey,
give me my
I need
money.
money right now.
I need my money.
Yeah. I'll drive you to the bank so you can give me money.
Yeah,
if
I won't
you
even
need
charge
to
you
do
for
that.
gas to drive to the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give me your money.
It feels kind of sad because these were some of the first friends I made since moving to the city, but honestly, life's too short to spend around selfish, inconsiderate people. True. Deep down, I already knew this trip would be a mess, but I had to learn it the hard way, I guess. Hopefully next time I'll spot people like this a little earlier. Lesson learned.
Yeah.
By the way, I hope you can learn that we have more full episodes with stories just like this one on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, or whatever your favorite podcast app is. Just search OK Storytime.
Do it.
And there is a little bit more to the story, but
Oh boy.
I feel like what OP could have done is like, I mean, obviously, you know, in hindsight, you don't know what's going to happen.
Sure.
But you could be like, okay, guys, like I was able to get a refund on the trip. Sorry, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go to the trip. It's not going to work out. And then you go to the trip, but alone. And then you're like, beautiful staycation. I can do whatever I want. Nice little alone trip.
Yeah.
Or bring some other friends or something. I
Or
don't know.
yeah, cancel on them.
Yeah, literally. But we do have an update/edit. Sam and Alex just sent me their share. Okay, good.
Yay.
Jay still hasn't, but Sam said that she'll cover for her if she doesn't pay by Saturday. I've been going through all your comments, and yeah, I was definitely being a doormat. They've never acted like this before, so I didn't see it coming. I've never really been surrounded by friends like this, or I've always managed to cut them off before it got this bad. I'm definitely going to stand up for myself more from now on. Thanks, guys. And there are
Yay.
some comments, but OP don't respond to them. But yeah, good, great,
Yeah.
OP.
Good job. You
Yeah,
did it.
you did it.
And
Learn
that's
the
all
hard
that matters.
way, but you learned immediately.
You didn't make me angry like the last person.
Yeah, exactly.